The SmackDown arena was buzzing with energy, the crowd chanting and waving signs, unaware that behind the curtain, something far more intriguing than any match was about to unfold. The camera panned backstage, and there he was, Roman Reigns, standing in the dim light of his private locker room, the tribal chief exuding authority without saying a single word. His face was cold, unreadable, but his eyes were sharp, like he already knew tonight was going to test more than just loyalty. The door creaked open slowly, and in stepped Jacob Fatu. The enforcer's massive frame filled the doorway, his presence alone radiating raw, unpredictable power. He didn't smile, didn't nod, just stared at Roman for a moment before stepping inside. But before the tension could even settle, the door opened again. Jimmy Uso walked in, hood pulled low, keeping his expression hidden. The fact that both men arrived within seconds of each other was no coincidence. This was a meeting no one outside the bloodline was supposed to witness. Roman looked between them, his silence heavier than any words could be. Finally, he spoke, his voice deep and slow, cutting through the air like a blade. "So, you both decided to come. Good. That means you understand how serious this is." Asterisk. Jacob crossed his arms, leaning against the wall, while Jimmy stood just a few feet from Roman, avoiding direct eye contact. The tension was thick, almost suffocating. Roman's gaze shifted between them like he was studying their every movement. Then he took a step closer to Jimmy. "I've been hearing things, whispers. And you know I don't like whispers. I like truth." Asterisk. Jimmy finally lifted his head, his voice low but laced with defiance. "If you're hearing things, then maybe you're listening to the wrong people, Roman." Asterisk. Before Roman could respond, Jacob stepped in, his voice rumbling like distant thunder. "This ain't about rumors. This is about the family. And right now, the family's split. That's bad for business." Asterisk. Roman slowly turned his head toward Jacob, his eyes narrowing. "Split? Or betrayed?" The air in the room tightened instantly. Jimmy shifted his weight, clearly uncomfortable, while Jacob's expression hardened even more. Roman was testing them, pushing them to reveal where their loyalty truly lay. Then Roman sat down slowly, resting his hands on his knees, looking up at both men like a king listening to two knights about to plead their case. You've been seen talking. Laughing. Planning. Without me. And I don't need to remind you, there's no bloodline without me." Asterisk. Jimmy clenched his fists but didn't step forward. Instead, he glanced at Jacob, who gave him a subtle nod, as if silently saying asterisk, "Let me handle this." Asterisk. Jacob then spoke with a cold certainty. "We ain't plotting against you, Roman. We're making sure nobody outside this family tries to take what's ours. But you've been busy dealing with your own wars. Somebody's gotta watch the gates." Roman's expression remained. The door to Roman's locker room opened slowly, and Paul Heyman stepped inside, clutching a folder to his chest like it was the most valuable item in WWE. His eyes darted from Roman to Jacob to Jimmy, clearly aware that he had just walked in on something sensitive. "My tribal chief," Heyman began cautiously, I have the information you asked for." Roman didn't take the folder immediately. Instead, he gestured for Heyman to place it on the table beside him. The sound of the folder hitting the table echoed unnaturally loud in the tense room. Roman kept his eyes locked on Jimmy and Jacob. "You see," Roman said slowly, "I don't like secrets. But if there's going to be a secret meeting, it's going to happen right here, in front of me." Jimmy shook his head, looking frustrated. "This ain't a secret meeting, This is us trying to make sure we're ready for what's coming. And you know something's coming." Jacob finally stepped off the wall, his massive figure now looming over both Jimmy and Roman. His tone was firm, unshaken. "The locker room is talking, Roman. They think the bloodline is weak. They think you've lost control. And some of them are already picking sides." Roman rose from his chair slowly, his aura shifting from calm to dangerous in an instant. He got right in Jacob's face. And which side are you on? Jacob didn't blink. The same side I've always been on, the side that wins. But you need to decide if we're fighting each other, or fighting them. The weight of those words hung heavy. Roman glanced over at Jimmy, who nodded slightly in agreement. If you want this family to stay untouchable, we need to close ranks now. No more outsiders getting in. No more leaving gaps for them to exploit. Roman paced the room for a moment, processing every word. Then he stopped, looking back at Heyman. Who's been talking? Heyman hesitated, his eyes flicking nervously toward Jacob and Jimmy before answering. Names? I'd rather discuss privately. Roman shook his head. No. Say it here. If these two are as loyal as they claim, they'll hear it the same time I do. Heyman swallowed hard, then slowly opened the folder. Carrion Cross. LA Knight. And Cody Rhodes. They've been making moves, whispering about dismantling the bloodline piece by piece. Jacob let out a low, almost amused chuckle. Let them try. Jimmy stepped forward, his tone dead serious. Then we move first. No waiting, no warning. We hit them before they even know we're coming. Roman studied both men, his smirk slowly returning. Maybe this meeting wasn't a bad idea after all. He stepped toward the door, opening it slightly, then pausing to look back. If the bloodline's going to survive, we do it my way. No mistakes. No mercy. The camera caught Jacob and Jimmy exchanging a look. A look that wasn't quite trust, but wasn't defiance either. It was the look of two men who understood that war was coming, and that they'd have to fight alongside the one man they both respected and